Hello and welcome to The Long Couch. My name's Carl. I'm joined tonight by Mel.
As always.
And on this episode, we will be discussing some of the most divisive, heated issues. Things that people cannot seem to agree on. They're very split on. And they feel very strongly about one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a flashy name for this one yet. I don't know what I'm going to quite call it.
This is the controversy episode. This
Yeah.
is the one where we start a lot of controversy.
Well, I will say this episode's not going to be about anything that actually matters.
Nope.
Nothing in this episode actually matters. We're not talking politics or anything like that. Something that actually has impact. We're talking about the most trivial bullshit that people cannot agree on. So I think as we get into it,
we're here for.
Yeah, you'll get a better idea as we get into our topics. So these are all things, most things that people on the internet cannot agree on, or you meet people in real life and they feel a certain strong way about this one thing, which really doesn't matter. It's mostly just like, I have a preference and anybody who has an opposite preference is wrong and I will die on this hill.
Yeah, it's like, you ever met someone that's like weirdly like dedicated to like this one opinion? Like it's something that by no means has any sort of real world weight or value, but like they're so committed to like letting everyone else know that this is the correct way to view something.
We might discover tonight that you or I are one of those people.
I might actually end up finding a true platform, a true soapbox to stand on by the end of the night.
So our show has done quite well in the category of anger baiting. And
that's not on purpose, by the way.
No.
I think people have consistently, I watch the shorts that you upload. People have consistently gotten upset at me about things. Things that when I'm saying them out loud as we record this, I have just no idea that that's going to be something that makes somebody mad.
Uh-huh.
I just talk, okay?
Judging by the comments, people don't like that you wear cat ears. And,
dude, okay, I'm not even kidding you. They're not on right now, but it was not because of that. They will be on next episode. They just fell off.
Right.
That's it.
Mel doesn't back down due to a little bit of criticism.
No. I actually feel naked right now. Like, I feel like I see myself in OBS. Like, I see myself wearing headphones without cat ears on them. And it feels wrong. Like, you gotta remember, I've had these things for like 7 years.
Mm-hmm. It's also funny that our second episode was about common misconceptions. And we've already put out like 2 shorts where we spread more misconceptions.
No, man, that person, like literally, if that person had watched the episode, they would understand that we were on the same page, is all I'm saying.
It's all a misunderstanding. Also, I said that the Oblivion's horse armor doesn't do anything, but apparently it gives your horse more health.
Oh, really?
I was wrong. I went out there confidently and just spread more lies.
But you're admitting that you were incorrect about something. This isn't malicious.
This is my formal apology.
Yeah, and I appreciate that you're. I won't apologize for what I said.
Well,
but
I won't make you.
I appreciate and respect your apology, though.
So the first one, let's get the big one out of the way. This is probably one of the most divisive and heated topics. This is pineapple on pizza. Yes or no?
I'm actually a pretty passionate yes on this one.
Okay. So you're not only just like, it's tolerable, but I prefer it.
No, yeah, I mean, think about it in terms of just like flavor profiles and stuff. A pizza is a very savory item. You know what I mean? Most of the time you have some sort of meat on there. You know, with pineapple, it is typically like ham or bacon, but like, or even chicken, but like sometimes pepperoni, whatever. Meat is typically very savory. And then you have like the sort of like mild taste of the cheese. You have the sauce. The pineapple just provides a bit of sweetness. It just kind of makes your pizza a little sweet, and it's got a nice little texture to throw in there. I think pineapple is actually a pretty welcomed topping on pizza.
So if you're ordering a pizza, do you go out of your way to get pineapple?
See, when it comes to pizza, I'm kind of like, I have a system of what goes together. If I'm getting pineapple on it, then I'm probably going to get grilled chicken on it.
So I'm going to take the opposite opinion of whatever you take, Mel.
Oh, wow.
So me personally, pineapple on pizza, fine. It's okay. I won't really go out of my way to eat it, but it's tolerable. It's a worthy pizza topping.
Yeah, it's good.
But I think people might argue that it's a fruit, and it just simply does not belong in a pizza. I mean, what other fruit do you put on a pizza? Where does this idea come from, where you just throw pineapple on there willy-nilly, and suddenly it's a Hawaiian pizza?
Okay, first of all, good point, bringing up the fact that I cannot think of a single other fruit that I've ever put on pizza. So, never thought of that until now.
Just seems out of left field.
I mean, a little bit, but it makes sense. Like, it works. You're adding sort of sweetness to your flavor profile. I don't know. I mean, I think it's good. I think just because it's a fruit should not automatically exclude its inclusion on a pizza, on a nice pizza pie, just because it's unconventional, it's unorthodox. It's out of the box. That's all it is.
Yeah, you heard it from Mel. Fruits should not be excluded.
I'm like, don't get me wrong. I cannot think of a single other. Wait, tomatoes. You put tomatoes on pizza? I put tomatoes on pizza.
Uh-huh.
That's a fruit.
Most people don't think of tomatoes as being a fruit.
That doesn't count. Just because people don't know it's a fruit doesn't mean it's not.
Or how about this? We can only have one fruit on pizza, so let's keep the pineapple away. We already have the sweetness and acidity from the tomato.
You're just making things up now. You're just trying to make me wrong.
That is my position on this podcast. Next point. Do you wash your legs in the shower?
I do. Is this a divisive issue?
This is a divisive issue, yes. There is a majority of people, I don't know if it's a majority, there is a portion of people who claim that you do not need to wash your legs in the shower because, well, trickle-down economics.
Yeah, thanks, Reagan.
You will wash your body, you wash everything above your legs, the soap flows down, it washes your legs automatically. No effort required.
I'm having a weird hair day. Just side note, does not matter at all to the podcast, but I'm just having a weird hair day today.
Did you take a shower and not wash your legs today?
Yeah, that's what's throwing me off. Wash your legs. Do it. I listen. I understand. Like, oh, I don't need to wash my legs. Like, it trickles down. You know, it's the kind of the same mentality behind scrubbing shampoo into like your scalp area, and then like, oh, the shampoo will find its way to the ends of your hair. I get it. I understand the thought process. This is not like an alien or foreign concept to me. However, wash your legs in the shower. It's worth it. I mean, it takes like, what, 2 seconds to do?
Right, but then you got to bend down or you got to like lift up your leg and put yourself in danger. Why go through all that when the soap will just naturally fall down and wash your legs?
I don't know. Like, if I just like squirted soap into my hand and rinsed it off, I wouldn't feel clean. Because scrubbing is a very important part of that process to me. It's very important that I scrub to sort of, make sure the soap is on there, sort of knock off and scrape off like any sort of maybe residue from out the day, exfoliate a little bit. This is, I just wash your legs. That's all I'm gonna say.
Apparently, this is a white people thing. White people don't wash their legs in the shower.
Of course.
Haven't
we done enough?
We can attest right here that there's at least 2 white people who do wash their legs in the shower.
Yeah, there's at least 2 out there. If that brings you any sort of solace or comfort.
I won't attempt to speak for all white people, but I can speak for myself. And Mel, you've spoken. You wash your legs in the shower.
I do.
We are on the right side of history. All right, we've got another food one here. Should you bite or lick your ice cream cone?
I'm actually a biter.
He's a biter. I like that, Mel. Tell me more.
Okay, so when you're a kid, you lick it, right? That's, I think, sort of like the intrinsic, like,
when you got no teeth.
Your genetic code is wired as a child to lick ice cream and get so messy and sticky and have that shit drip all over. And here's the thing: I don't not lick it, right?
Right.
I mean, if there's some drippage, if it's kind of losing shape a little bit, and I need to sort of reinforce the walls of my ice cream, sort of build up that foundation, put some rebar in there, then yeah, I'll lick around it a little bit, make sure it retains its structure. But I don't got time for that. You know what I mean? I don't got time to lick on a fucking ice cream cone all day, man. I'm gonna bite it, and then I'm gonna savor that. It's a part of the process. I'll bite, I'll savor what I have gotten from that bite, and then I can kind of move on to the next bite. Rinse and repeat. But also, this is one that I am not a staunch defender of. If you lick your ice cream, that's totally fine. I'm just a busy man who's always in a hurry, and I don't have time for a leisurely activity such as licking. I gotta bite and go.
Is that what you tell your girlfriend?
Yeah. I say bite and go. I don't have time for this.
I don't have time for a leisurely activity such as licking.
No. That's licking's for the birds, baby.
I'm more of a do both kind of guy, I guess. You gotta get some bite and lick action going there.
Yeah,
whatever it takes.
Yeah.
And I'm not even going to attempt.
Are we still talking about ice cream?
I'm not going to attempt to make a counter argument for this because I can't even imagine why anyone would feel a certain way about this.
Yeah. See, the previous ones, it's like, yeah, no, I get how maybe there could be some sort of debate or nuanced discourse to be had. But like, I can't imagine somebody's just like, you better fucking bite.
What kind of motherfucker sees someone eating an ice cream cone and is like, you're doing it wrong?
Yeah, that'd be odd, right? That'd be weird. It'd be a weird thing to do.
But I guess we'll see more of that as we work our way down the list. I got a bonus one for you, though.
Yeah, just fucking make this segment of the podcast a short so I can get told I'm wrong again, please.
Oh, you'll have plenty of opportunity to be told you're wrong.
I can't wait. I
got a bonus here.
Okay.
Do you bite or peel your cheese stick?
Okay.
Or string cheese?
I think that string cheese is kind of weird. See, I'm kind of already on the fence about cheese in general. I like it, but it has to be specific types of cheese in certain contexts, whether it's complementary or supplementary to an existing dish, such and such and such. But string cheese is just, you just kind of eat it on your own. And it's too much. I don't like just eating cheese by itself. So I
you just straight up don't eat string cheese?
Yeah, my opinion on that is moot because I don't eat it enough to make that call. But if I were to eat something of that nature, I'd probably just bite it. I know that's like sacrilegious to string cheese enjoyers, but once again, it's just like, how old are we? You know what I mean?
Right.
And I get it. You know, age should not be a factor when it comes to enjoying food. But I don't feel right just, peeling that shit, dangling it in my mouth. I feel it's like I'm eating, I don't know. I would probably bite it.
I mean, maybe you're robbing yourself of a bit of experience, but there's no right way to eat string cheese.
I feel like there is. Like, I feel like if it was named like cheese stick or cheese cylinder, then I'd be like, yeah, there's no wrong way to eat a cheese cylinder. But like, it's in the name.
I had a smoked string cheese this morning for breakfast, and I do a bit of a peel off of a couple chunks. I'll bite into it. I'm kind of a combination person on a lot of these. I think we're gonna find.
Yeah, but the thing is nothing wrong with enjoying the best of both worlds. You know what I mean? Having your options open.
If I want to peel it and just savor the moment and enjoy it like I'm a child again, I'll do that. But if I just want to eat my damn cheese, I'm in a hurry, I'm walking, I'm just going to bite it. Okay, next up. Socks and sandals. Yes or no?
I actually don't mind this one. I mean, I got a pair of Birks, right? Good old Birkenstocks. And they're really convenient to like just slip on, especially if I'm not going anywhere that A, requires me to look a certain way, or B, I'm not going to be at said place for an extended period of time. So it's just nice to just slip them on or whatever, but sometimes, like this time of year, it's cold. I put on a pair of socks that keep my feet warm, but I still get the convenience of slipping my Birks on and off at my leisure. I'm pretty okay with socks and sandals. Now, if you do the thing where you wear socks with flip-flops, you're a fucking lunatic.
Okay, I think we can agree on that.
That is lunacy. If you are forcing your sock in between your toes, that's crazy. That's
wrong.
Insane.
You should be put in jail.
That's not even comfortable. I think you're going out of your way, I think, to be uncomfortable. People being angry at socks and sandals is kind of like the same time period where everybody was like, would freak out over the word moist. Like, oh, I hate that word. I hate that. Why?
Right.
Moist. It's kind of like that. Those two things, for whatever reason, are related to me.
Not liking socks and sandals and not liking the word moist kind of have the same
energy. It feels like I feel like they're kind of born out of the same like mentality of an era, of like this sort of like mini era in the mid 2010s. Like, I mean, people would fucking publicly stone you for wearing socks and sandals. It was crazy. It was a crazy time to be alive.
So people have definitely loosened up on this then, in your opinion?
I don't give a shit. I think it's fine.
Going into this, I was going to say, no way, socks and sandals, that's bad. If it is hot enough for you to wear sandals, which is the point of sandals, to keep your feet cool, then why would you
Yes.
wear socks? You're defeating the purpose. It makes no sense. But then I saw this picture.
I guess that we looked at it from different perspectives then, because I was thinking more so of convenience, where you were thinking of like temperament. Not temperament, temperature.
Temperature, yeah. It defeats the purpose of wearing sandals, right? Why wear socks? Now you're just going out of your way to contradict the point of your footwear. But I saw this picture. I saw this guy here and his swagger with the socks and sandals. And I thought, okay, it's okay to wear sunglasses at night and to wear socks and sandals to make a fashion statement. If you say fuck being comfortable or using my footwear to the best of its ability, I just want to make a fashion statement. Fine.
That's true.
Wear your socks and sandals then, okay?
I think that's a respectable perspective to have.
I'll allow it. I'm not going to get angry about how other people dress because I dress like a fucking idiot, by the way.
You'll allow it like you're in charge of it? Like if you say the word, nobody is allowed to wear socks and sandals anymore?
I'll allow it.
That's crazy. That's a crazy amount of power to have. I'm surprised it doesn't get to your head.
Well, listen, Bill, if you try to wear socks and sandals on this podcast, I'm not going to let it slip.
Listen, man, I got sandals on right now, but no socks. So, I mean, we can be at, peacetime for now.
I'll know. All right, I'll know. Here's a bonus one for you. Should you wear pants while recording a podcast?
No. No.
I'm not.
Oh, nice. I mean, I am, so...
Yeah, you're missing out.
Yeah, I guess the average member of this podcast only has half a pair of pants, which is kind of crazy. Unless you're on one of those podcasts where it's like everyone's like sitting on the couch leaned back holding like microphones, like you should probably wear pants in that kind of context, but
depends on how close you are.
Yeah, even then not really required, I suppose.
All right, here's a big one. This is soda versus pop.
I call it soda. I don't think I've ever just called it pop.
So on the map here, are you accurately represented in the soda category?
No, actually, I live in a pop region. It's tough. It's tough being surrounded by pop people.
Mm-hmm.
When I myself bear allegiance to the soda nomenclature, it's crazy.
Seems like most of the country is pop.
See, I don't really know how accurate this is, because I know that the whole thing is that in the South everybody calls every soda a Coke,
mm-hmm.
and that is a thing in some places, but it is a regional thing to call all soda Coke. But I also think that it's a rather antiquated thing. I think that it's primarily elderly people calling every soda a Coke.
Yeah, I
don't think that like Southern millennials are not calling every soda Coke.
Likely not.
I think it's primarily boomers. It feels like a pretty antiquated term in reference to all soda.
I mean, this map is obviously a huge generalization.
Where did they get their data? That's what I want to know.
I didn't get that far. But considering I live in Wisconsin, which is definitely a blue pop state, I am surrounded by people who call it pop, and I hate it. I'm definitely a soda man, of course. It just
good man.
I actually don't know why. Maybe I'm just a contrarian kind of guy. I don't know at what point in my life I decided pop sounds wrong. It's definitely soda.
See, that's the thing, is I've just always called it soda, and then at some point in my life, I kind of realized that most people called it pop.
Uh-huh.
And so, as you could imagine, I felt very isolated.
So the drink is soda, but the little tabs on the top, those are pop can tabs.
Yeah, they're called aren't they called pull tabs?
Well, I've never used that phrase.
I might have actually just made that up. Hold on.
What's the official name for the little thing on the top of the can?
Can anatomy. Wait. Yeah, it is called a pull tab.
I've never heard anyone say that.
I've never heard anybody unironically, seriously, without cracking a smile, be like, "Yeah, I'd like a soda pop, please."
Yeah, that's definitely an antiquated thing.
I'll up the stakes a little bit. You ever heard somebody say sody pop?
only ironically.
Yeah, I mean, imagine somebody's just like, oh, yeah, I'd like a sody pop. It's like, who are you, man? Like, what are you
I'd
doing?
like a fizzy drink. What are you, British?
Yeah, what's going on? Is that what British
I thought this
people
was
say?
America. That is what British people say, apparently. I don't even want to say statements like that on the show anymore. Okay, next up. Toilet paper, over or under?
All right, I take back everything I said at the beginning of the show. This shit is not trivial. I just cannot imagine a world where you would prefer it under.
Yeah, neither can I. But how upset are you that people would do it under? Do you go to somebody's
Okay.
house and if they have it like that, you're just like shaking your head?
I have fixed it before in people's houses.
Really? You fixed it?
Yeah, I've gone out of my
There's
way.
an objectively right way to do it.
I've used the bathrooms at people's houses and like legitimately just flipped it around real quick. I don't judge. I just correct.
We're both over kind of guys here.
Under doesn't make over. You can kind of do a bit of a slap down motion. It's very convenient. It's right there.
Yeah?
But with under, it's kind of like you have to do a bit of a reach around, or you have to do the really awkward back roll where you have to flip it over.
Yeah.
That's weird. That's a bad time.
It's terrible.
Makes me feel bad, and I think that this is probably the only thing on the list that I will like legitimately be like, yeah, don't fucking. Oh yeah, also wash your legs and put your toilet paper over.
Now, some people will say, oh, I do it under. Either they'll say, it doesn't fucking matter, so just do it whatever way. Or they'll say, I do it under because it keeps my cat from getting at it. And you're a cat owner, Mel. Has your cat ever gotten at your toilet paper?
That my cats don't give a shit about toilet paper. They're all about faucets.
Uh-huh.
But I guarantee you, knowing my cats, if they like toilet paper, making it go under would not stop them. They would find a way. When there's a will, there's a way, and my cats have too much will.
Yeah, my cats never really go for the toilet paper either, but my 4-year-old does. But I can't prevent her just by flipping it, so...
Yeah, that'll do nothing.
I'm out of luck on that. Okay, next up we're going back to food for crunchy peanut butter versus creamy peanut butter. Which is superior?
Okay. I actually have an interesting perspective on this.
Please.
Growing up, I thought crunchy peanut butter was the dumbest shit imaginable. I was like, that's fucking gross, and it's dumb. Peanut butter, that's a smooth, thick taste. I don't want any fucking nuts in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got older and I matured and I kind of saw the value in it because I'm gonna let you in on a little trade secret here, Carl. Wonderful snack if you're on a low budget and you want something real nice and filling. You get a piece of toast, you lather it with peanut butter, slap a layer of peanut butter over, then you put banana slices on the peanut butter, and then you drizzle the whole thing with honey. That is the greatest possible snack you could ever have.
Mm-hmm.
One day, I don't even know why we bought crunchy peanut butter, but I think Kenzie wanted it, but we had crunchy peanut butter, and I used that for my little toast with peanut butter, banana, and honey. And it really added this really pleasant, crunchy texture to it, and it was really good. So I'm honestly both ways. I could actually go either or.
Is there a name for this peanut butter, banana, honey toast concoction?
Not that I know of. Kenzie introduced it to me. My partner introduced it to me. I have no idea where I'm sure it's probably just been passed down, generation to generation, like the Krabby Patty secret formula, and I've just given it away.
No catchy name though.
I know, but we can maybe think of one. I'll keep it on the back burner for now.
All right. Let's see. I'm gonna have an incredibly hot take on this.
Oh, let's hear it.
Listen, if crunchy peanut butter has peanuts in it, then it's peanut butter with peanuts in it, right? It doesn't become crunchy peanut butter because the peanuts that are in there that are not butterified are no longer peanut butter.
Oh, so you're just arguing that it's a misnomer from the start.
Yeah. By the way, it is good. I don't really go out of my way to buy crunchy peanut butter, but I'll eat it. It's fine. Yeah, it's good. But crunchy peanut butter, it's a misnomer. It's not peanut butter. It's creamy peanut butter with peanuts in it. Okay? That's just some facts right there. I've never thought of it that way.
I've never thought of it that way. But I mean, I'm convinced.
But imagine
you're right. It's
imagine them marketing that though. Like, of course they've called it crunchy peanut butter because they'd be like, new peanut butter now with Now with peanuts.
Now with peanuts, yeah. Now I think that would just kind of.
It already
cause
had
this
peanuts
sort of,
in it. What are you saying?
Yeah, that would cause a pretty bad domino effect for their PR team. I
So
would
they
say.
decided,
Yeah, you're right.
no, it's crunchy peanut butter. No, it's not. Get out of here. I don't need to believe these lies.
Yeah, that's crazy. You've pulled me over to your side.
All right, next up. GIF. How do you pronounce this word?
I know that I might get some pushback from this. I don't give a fuck how it's pronounced. I'm gonna say GIF.
Okay. We're on the same page. It's GIF. And
Yeah.
it definitely is GIF. It's objectively GIF. And I don't care. I've seen articles that say, oh, the creator of GIF said it was actually pronounced GIF. So, checkmate, atheists. But no. Listen.
I just don't care.
You add a T to this word, it becomes gift. Okay? It's not gift. And I mean, GIF stands for what? Graphical image format. Am I just making that up? Is that really what it stands for?
You could fucking tell me that's what it was and I believe you.
All I know
no
is
idea.
that the first word is graphical, okay? So it's definitely a GIF sound
It
there.
stands for a graphics interchange format.
Graphics interchange. Okay, I just made up an acronym there. That's what my brain does when it sees 3 letters. I try to figure out what the acronym is, just by guessing.
I do that too. You're close, to be fair.
So it is a GIF. And all you peanut butter lovers, get out of here with that GIF shit. All right, next up. This one is a personal one for me.
Okay. Oh, this is just from you?
Well, no, it's personal to me.
Oh, okay.
When you brush your teeth.
Yes.
Now follow along with me here and see if you agree.
Gotcha.
You take out your toothbrush, you turn on the tap, you wet your toothbrush.
Right.
Then you put the toothpaste on.
Right.
Right. Then you turn the tap back on and you wet your toothbrush again.
Right.
No, wrong. Why? No, Mel. I thought we had something here.
That's not. I was just joking. I don't do that.
Alyssa, my girlfriend, does this too, and I've never seen anybody do that before. Put the toothpaste on and then wet it again. When it's under the sink again.
It's a process.
What are you doing? Why are you washing away your toothpaste? You just put that on, and you already wetted it before you put the toothpaste
tap
on.
Full blast. I'm
and
just wetting the toothpaste.
She's like, I'm just, letting the toothpaste settle into the bristles and lubricating it. And I'm like, what is wrong with you?
I've done this my whole life, and now I've done this my whole life, and now that I think about it, it doesn't make any sense. Toothpaste is already soft. Like, it's not like the bristles is like you're wetting them because like they could be harsh on your gums.
Mm.
But the second time around, yeah, I mean toothpaste is already soft. But no, I do wet it a second time.
My brain has just that thought has never even occurred to me. So when I saw her do that for the first time,
it made complete sense to do that.
I was so confused. I was like, why did you just do that? My world has been shattered. Okay, apparently I'm the minority here. I don't know.
If it makes you feel any better, Kenzie is on your side. Kenzie doesn't wet it.
Okay, so this could possibly be a very 50-50 split kind of thing.
I don't know, man. It just makes sense to me to wet it a second time.
Yeah. All right. I'll allow it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You've been very generous this episode.
I still love my girlfriend Tierley, even though she makes bad decisions. Like being with me.
She wets her. Yeah, like being with you.
Also, she always criticizes me because I brush my teeth before eating breakfast.
That's what you're supposed to do.
And I say, I can't eat food if my mouth tastes bad.
Actually, okay, so this is the part where people get in the fucking YouTube Shorts comments and tell me I'm wrong.
Mm.
But brushing your teeth before breakfast is what you're supposed to do because it kind of provides this protective layer to your teeth.
I mean, maybe so, but that's not what I do it. And she just says, well, brush your teeth after you eat, right? That obviously, that's when you have the food stuck in your teeth and your breath is bad. And I mean, I could argue you could do both, sure. But when I get up, I have to brush my teeth, like, before I'm going to eat or drink really anything, because my mouth tastes like a nightmare.
No, I get it. Like, I get waking up with a bad taste in your mouth, but I wanted to make sure I wasn't wrong so nobody could tell me I was wrong this time. But brushing before you eat breakfast is better for your tooth enamel and overall oral health. And then if you brush after you eat, you should wait about 30 to 60 minutes.
Mel, I really appreciate that you're trying to look up stuff to back up your points, but all that context is not going to make it in the short, and the people who comment are not going to see that part.
Okay, well then I want everyone to know right now that I was right. I am right.
Just for the record.
This is short. Just for the record, you should brush your teeth before breakfast. It's good. It's better. Don't do it after. Do it before.
All right. Next up, should you wear pajamas out in public?
This is a tough one because I wore my pajama pants to the dollar store about an hour ago. It's 8 p.m. It's dark outside. People are settling down for the evening. I have to make a quick run to the dollar store. I'm already in my pajamas. I'm just gonna go there real quick. I think some people view it as like disrespectful if you. No, I would never go to like. I probably wouldn't go to the mall in my pajamas. I probably wouldn't go out. I would not go out to eat in my pajamas. You know. But I think there's contexts and settings where it's more appropriate than others to wear pajamas in public.
I think wear whatever the fuck you want. Really, I'm not going to police what people wear. But yeah, I do think it is kind of in bad taste to wear pajamas outside of the house to anywhere even relatively nice or formal.
I mean, yeah, I would never wear it to like a formal setting. Like, I'm not putting on my plaid pajamas and going to the Olive Garden. You know what I mean?
The Olive Garden. That's what white people think is fancy.
Not that Olive Garden is formal by any means. I mean, I worked there. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. I know that firsthand. I mean, I'm not going to show up to, like, my kid's 5th grade graduation in a pair of pajamas.
Like, I basically wear, like, basketball shorts and joggers most of the time when I'm not at work. Because that shit's comfy. But it's not, like, plaid pajama pants. Or I don't have some Cookie Monster oversized pajama pants that I'm wearing out.
It's a super specific image, but I know what you mean.
I'm once again reminded that we live on different parts of the country because you're saying pajamas.
Yeah, I wasn't going to bring it up I wasn't going to say anything, but now that you have, now that you sort of opened those floodgates, let the dam loose, it's pajamas.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it is.
You cheesehead.
All right, what about your mom's sister? What's she called?
Oh, my aunt.
You mean your aunt?
Bro. What is it with you guys and these hard that's not a hard A sound. These nasally A sounds. That's not aunt, it's aunt for you.
People don't like the way that
pajamas.
People don't like the way that, Midwesterners and Wisconsiners say bag or bagel, stuff like that.
Or what'd you just say?
Bag or bagel.
Why are you saying bagel? Are you saying bagel?
Exactly.
Is that what you're saying?
People hate it. Yeah, that's how we say it here.
Saying bagel. That's
bagel.
Crazy. You guys are like one step down from a Toronto accent.
Yeah, maybe so.
I mean, it makes sense, but nah, dude. I mean, I hung out with a group of guys from Toronto a month or two ago. I hung out with like 6 Toronto natives.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like waiting for the other shoe to drop. I was waiting for them to be like, just kidding. We don't actually talk like this.
But they say a boot.
Actually, I don't think I heard any of them say a boot.
Right. Not everybody in Canada says that, but yeah. Or they say against.
Against?
I've heard that a lot before.
That's crazy, man. That's a crazy thing to say.
Yeah. And the letter Z is also Zed. I think that's a British thing too.
They do say Zed. I did hear one of them distinctly say that.
Okay.
So I can confirm that after hanging out with real life actual Canadians. I'm sure that there's got to be something within my regional dialect that I think is normal. Well, a lot of people around here, like for example, what do you do in the shower or in the bath? What do you do to yourself?
Wash.
Around here it's wash.
Wash.
With an R sound. Or bath. You don't bathe, you bath.
Ah. Yeah.
Like I was bathing.
I've never heard that.
Bathing the other day.
No, never heard that.
People around, instead of oil, they get rid of the I sound. They just say ol.
Ol. Yeah, it's definitely a South kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Appalachian dialect is very interesting.
The one word that stands out to me is when you say phone.
Phone?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do I say phone weird?
You do kind of. I mean, not weird, just different than I do.
How are you supposed to say phone?
I mean, when I say phone, you always say phone. And I don't know.
Wait, what the fuck are you talking about? Hold on. So
then run it back. Let's go back to the last episode when we were talking about mobile games, all right? And you'll hear you say phone the way that you do. Just hits a little different coming from you.
This is news to me. This is you've altered my. Kenzie, do I say phone weird?
Not to her, I'm sure. But to me, look, I say phone like it's spelled Phone, and you say phone like it's spelled Phone.
What are you talking about? That's the same word. Phone versus Pho. There's no difference.
It's a different sound.
That's no. Kenzie.
Oh wait, no, I say phone like it's pronounced Foan.
That's the. You're making shit up. Foan would be pronounced the same way. It'd be still pronounced phone.
It hit.
What are you saying? I feel like I'm going crazy. I feel like you're gaslighting me into thinking that I pronounce phone weird.
I'm gonna do a supercut, okay?
Are we not saying the same word?
I don't know.
You're saying
you have a little extra flavor that just comes from your regional accent when you say phone. That sounds different to me. When I hear you say that, it makes me think like he's not from here. And maybe it's very subtle, but since I live here in Wisconsin, I don't talk to West Virginians often enough. When you say certain things, it triggers me.
You've got me rethinking a lot of things.
That's just what happens when you meet somebody who has a different accent. You know,
Dude,
it's not.
I have talked to people from all across the globe, and nobody has ever once pointed out to me, "Oh yeah, you say phone kind of differently than I do."
I mean, it's totally minor, and like, who cares? And when would that come up in conversation anyway?
Apparently now.
Yeah.
That wasn't the prompt. We were talking about how phone was pronounced. You brought that up. This is crazy. Move on. I don't care anymore.
Next up. Do you wash your dishes before you put them in the dishwasher?
Well, first of all, I don't own a dishwasher. But
Poor bastard.
when I lived at home, like when I lived with my parents, you don't wash the dishes, but you do get the food off of them. You know, you don't want to just put a whole fucking like chicken leg in the dishwasher, do you?
But if there's like food and stuff and residue stuck to it, like you put them in there with that stuff on there?
I mean, yeah, with like residue and stuff, just not like actual like pieces of food. You shouldn't do that. Do you?
Absolutely, I do.
What do you do? What do you mean?
I wash all of my dishes. I scrub them individually.
Oh, I thought you were saying that you put them in just like with food on there. I was like, what the fuck, Carl? I was like, your dishwasher's not a trash compactor.
No, I misunderstood. I'm not just putting whole ass chicken legs in my dishwasher or anything like that.
Good. I was really reconsidering a lot of things.
I do the opposite of that, and I meticulously wash all of my dishes before I put them in because I don't trust my dishwasher.
Yeah, we don't see what goes on in there.
Yeah.
It could be nothing. It could be something nefarious or dubious.
I need to know that my dishes are already basically clean when I put them in there.
You know what? I actually kind of get that. I understand that. I understand wanting to get your dishes as clean as possible and then using the dishwasher as this sort of like finishing touch to them. You know what? I understand that. I don't do that because once again, like I said, don't own a dishwasher. I wash all of my dishes by hand.
I'm kind of a freak. Like I'm obsessed with keeping my apartment clean and doing all my own chores. And it's very difficult living with my roommate to the point where he's actually not allowed to do many of the chores because he will do them wrong and not up to my standard.
That's what my partner says about me.
Yeah. I wouldn't even let my girlfriend do some of the chores because I don't trust her to do a good enough job.
Is it a good enough job or is it the way you want it done?
I'm a control freak.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's not the fact that they're doing a bad job, but it's just not how you want it done.
Or I just don't think like, did you actually do it like well enough to like, can I trust this that it's clean? I don't know unless I actually did it. And I wash all of my dishes before I put them in. If there's a speck of food on there, I'm not allowing that in my dishwasher. I soak all of my silverware up into the point where it goes in, and then I spray it off. And I don't know. I don't let anybody else load the dishwasher because there's an optimal way to do it to maximize the space. And anybody who's not me will do it incorrectly. And I will cringe myself inside out if I see somebody else load the dishwasher any other way than the way I do it.
Do you have OCD?
I don't.
It sounds like OCD.
No, I'm just kind of a control freak about cleanliness and
I mean, I
stuff.
get. I mean, I'm a control freak about other things. So I like, for example, I have to drive.
Yeah.
I if I'm in the passenger seat with somebody else driving, I feel like I'm going crazy.
You
Like
don't have control of the
I'm
situation.
I'm so tense. I'm just gripping. And that person could be just a fine driver. But like, exactly, I'm not in control of what happens or doesn't happen. And so it's just like I'm so fucking tense the whole time that somebody else is driving.
We may be divided on this one. So we're both anime enjoyers. We're both sophisticated men. We like the good anime.
Yes.
So,
down with Western culture.
Yes. Sub or dub?
I mean, I gravitate towards subs generally. But I'm actually pretty middle of the road on this one. I when I was younger, a young weeb, when I was a younger weeb, I was pretty vehemently against dubs. I don't really even know why. Maybe it's some sort of allegiance to the original voice actors, but whatever. That doesn't make any sense. But as I've gotten older, I have no problem with anime dubs. It's just that a lot of them do suck. But there's actually a lot of like really just like fine. There's a lot of fine ones. I mean, one of my favorite. I mean, I love Naruto. I've seen all of Naruto, and I watched it subbed because I love the Japanese voice actors. But Troy Baker plays Pain in the English dub, and Troy Baker does a fucking amazing job. Like genuinely, like one of the best performances in that show.
And you've got great actors like Yuri Leventhal.
Yeah, but the thing is some subs suck too. But a lot of people don't really like understand how cringy some of the dialogue is because it's in a language they can't speak. And so a lot of the time people tend to think that the anime dub is bad because the cringy dialogue is in a language that they can understand. And so they can sort of recognize that it's cringy. Sometimes it's not the sub or the dub's fault. Sometimes the show's just written poorly. As I've gotten older, how much I care about this debate has gone down less and less. I couldn't really
I kind of expected
now.
you to be like a strong sub man.
I mean, I used to be. I used to be a pretty big sub, but no. I used to be pretty against dubs, but I think that was born out of a misguided. I think it was dissonance. I think it was born out of this misguided anger towards dubs that I didn't quite understand as a young man.
So I almost exclusively watch dubs. I'm not an incredibly hardcore anime enjoyer. I haven't seen tons of series.
Fair.
But I casually watch anime, and I'll tell you when I watch anime, that's when I'm eating. So I don't want to read subtitles while I'm also eating.
See, that's the thing. It's like, I understand that, you know what I mean? I understand wanting to put a show on as something that you sort of half pay attention to. And, when you look down for a fucking half second, you don't want to miss anything critical.
Right.
For me, when I'm watching anime, or just any show in general, like, I'm paying attention to it, like, very... Like I'm paying attention to it, but also when I'm watching American shows, I do stray away from the screen a lot more because I know that I can still hear it. So I get that there's this sort of convenience involved when it comes to dubs.
I mean, this probably boils down to more of just my watching habits. Like, I don't spend a lot of time watching shows or series. Only mostly like when I'm eating, when my hands are occupied, I'll watch something.
That's fair.
So because I'm mostly watching anime while I'm eating, I'm definitely a dub enjoyer, but I understand why the sub is important, because you are losing context of the original script when you get the dub, because they have to rephrase things to fit with the mouth movements.
Yeah, that is true.
So you lose context with that. Also, the original voice acting is usually very good and very emotive, but sometimes it can be hard to kind of relate to another language voice acting. Especially, when we all speak English and they're speaking Japanese, like there's a lot of nuance to just the tone of Japanese language and everything, all the nuances of it that we don't really pick up on.
It's just an entirely, because like English is like a romantic language, you know what I mean? And Japanese is not. So things are structured very differently, but I understand not wanting to hear a language that you don't understand for a show you like.
Yeah, and some people might say it's kind of disconnecting to just be reading the show the entire time. I'm actually, I like both. That might sound weird, but I like listening to the dub while having the original subtitles on. Because then I can hear the line be spoken in English, but I can also read the original script line. So
Okay.
because then you get the best of both worlds, which is kind of where I fall on a lot of these things.
I've never heard of somebody doing that, but hey,
Because you get
I respect
the
it.
context that's there, and you can actually pick out points where, oh, they changed this line to fit, or they shortened this, or
Yeah.
this actually means like something a little bit different contextually in the Japanese script. Okay, next up. Esports. Are they
What about them?
real sports?
I mean, I guess they're electronic sports.
All right, I think we fall the same here.
Honestly, a lot of the time, I don't even really see this debate being made in good faith. But I think this is kind of a debate that doesn't really ever get off the ground because it kind of doesn't make sense. Are esports real sports? Well,
no,
they're
esports.
They're esports.
Exactly.
Which isn't a bad thing. You know, esports don't have to be labeled or categorized in the same group with like football to be valid.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's just a weird thing. Like it's a competitive activity, but it doesn't have to be categorized or labeled the same as like football to be like a valid and respectable thing. Are esports sports? No, they're esports. That's why they're called that.
That's exactly what I would say. And I think people will try to say, they'll argue that esports are sports because putting them in a separate label kind of delegitimizes them.
I mean, I was on an esports team, you know? There was never a point where I was like, we're a real sport. Like, I didn't care.
Well, it's easy to say, oh, an esport, that's not a real sport. But if we could just get everybody on the same page saying it's just a sport, then nobody can poo-poo on it.
I could understand the perspective of like, we don't want to delegitimize something that we're trying to get off the ground and something that we want people to take seriously. I think it's a really interesting thing, and I'm glad that they're becoming more popular, more accessible. Like, I don't need that enjoyment to be validated by somebody else. Like, I don't have, like, if I was like, oh, I love esports, and somebody's like, well, it's not like a real sport. It's like, yeah,
okay,
no,
so
they're playing Counter-Strike. You know what I mean? Like, they're not going out on a football field. And
would it be better if they were labeled like e-competitions, e-games?
No, I like the phrase esport. It rolls off the tongue nicely, and you kind of get, like, you kind of understand what it is. Like, it's a good label. It's a good name. I mean, by definition, I mean, like, you could kind of bend the definition of sport if you get rid of the whole, like, you know, physical on a field aspect. Like, that's kind of what it is. You know, there's a scoring system. It's competitive by nature. It's team against team rather than individuals. I know not all sports are, you know, golf and boxing, and those are individual sports. But you know what I mean? Like, there's things that you can conflate with to each other. Like, you can bridge those connections. You can recognize those similarities. By saying esport, you kind of understand what it's about already.
Right. The difference is it's not physical.
Yeah, hence the E.
Some people will say that, oh, golf is not a sport. It's an activity.
But that's dumb.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's just a dumb thing to say.
People draw the line in different places.
Well, the thing is sport is not, like, whether or not something is a sport, that's not really an opinion, is it? That kind of just comes down to like definition. Like, for example, earlier you were like, well, most people don't view tomatoes as fruits. So, still a fruit. So it's kind of the same thing.
I guess I don't know what the definition of sport is.
I don't either, but I feel like golf has got to fit into it, man.
Does it have to be competitive? Does it have to be physical?
Oh, wow, super vague. Physical activity engaged in for pleasure.
Okay, physical. That's the key word there. You know, so esports should really just be called NP sports for non-physical. And chess should also fall in there. And like gambling, playing poker, that should be an NP sport.
But the thing is where do we draw the line at physical? I mean, one could argue that moving your the dexterity required to move your mouse and keyboard with your hands, that's physical activity. That's dexterity.
That is true. You're not controlling the game with your mind. You are actually moving your wrist and your arm. I mean, real esport gamers, they have their arm lifted off the desk and they're moving their whole elbow and shit.
Yeah, I mean, you can get carpal tunnel.
And think about this.
From esports.
Your brain is a muscle, all right? You're working that muscle. You're working your eyes. You're jutting around. You're working your brain.
So by definition...
It's all physical.
Yeah, that's a sport. I mean, listen, if you can get carpal tunnel doing something, that's a sport. That's
You know
physical. I mean, that's physical.
I changed my mind. Esports are sports. So is chess.
Yeah, I came into this being content with my pre-established opinion, but I'll go ahead and change. Yeah, esports are sports.
Until you are laying down in a pod, doing everything within your own mind, it's still a sport. As long as there's some kind of physical input in there, it's a sport, damn it.
Yeah, as long as it's physical and pleasurable.
All right, listen to this, though.
It's a sport, baby.
What if I play golf, but I fucking hate it? I'm no longer playing it for pleasure. Is it still a sport?
I mean, I get the whole for pleasure thing is interesting because some people do it for like their career.
Yeah, some people do it just because they want to see the other team lose.
So really, it is based on opinion.
Yeah?
I'm playing golf, but I fucking hate it. Therefore, not a sport for me.
Not a sport. Next up, what's the proper condiment to go on French fries? Ketchup or mayonnaise?
Between ketchup and mayo, I like both condiments. I like mayo way more than I like ketchup.
Okay.
But I do think that ketchup probably complements fries better, I would argue. I like mayonnaise on pretty much everything else.
All right, I'm glad we're on the same boat here. This is the Two White Guys podcast right here.
Yeah.
We both are mayonnaise enjoyers. My girlfriend actually despises all the things I put mayonnaise on.
I grew up not liking mayonnaise, and then one day I actually grew up, and I was like, it's time to grow up, and mayonnaise is fantastic.
I just had fries with mayonnaise before I started this podcast.
I don't actually think I've ever had fries with mayonnaise. I mean, it sounds fine. Like, it sounds
Whoa. You came into this point saying, yeah, mayonnaise is great. Yeah, ketchup might go better, but
I've never even had it on fries.
And now you're like, I've never even eaten fries with mayonnaise. What?
It just, in my head, I just assumed ketchup would probably sound better with fries.
Wait, you never had ketchup on fries before?
I have.
Okay.
But I've not had mayonnaise.
You've never had mayonnaise on fries, but you think, oh, that sounds good. It sounds fine. I like it on other things, so why not?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it would probably just be fine. I can't imagine it would be, like, gross or anything.
Because I am, like, an exclusively, like, give me a side of mayonnaise with my fries. That's the only thing I want on it. And there are a majority of people who think that's absolutely vomit-inducing.
Well, there's a majority of there's a nice amount of people that just think mayo is vomit-inducing.
Yes, exactly. But, well, some people might be like, oh, mayonnaise is good on certain things in moderation. But if you're dipping your fucking fries in it, scooping that shit up by the spoonful, oh, disgusting. And I'm just like, give me more.
That just doesn't bother me. Yeah.
All right. Our last point is it better to binge watch a show or watch it week by week, episode by episode?
I'm gonna say both for this one. I know it's like a bullshit fucking cop-out answer.
No, you don't have to pick one. It's okay to validate each side.
If I like being able to watch a show at the pace that I want to watch it at. That's kind of the beauty of streaming. Syndicated television is becoming a thing of the past because fucking cable is I mean, actually with the new prices and ads and stuff, I mean, streaming services have essentially become cable. But, growing up having cable or broadcast television, it's like the ads are annoying. Streaming services fix that problem. You can watch as many episodes of any show as you want. You don't have to wait for the time slot to happen. You can watch it whenever you want, and you can watch the whole fucking season in one day. That's beautiful. That's a wonderful commodity that kids growing up today will never understand, like how good they have it in that regard. However, having TV shows be serialized episode by episode on streaming services or on TV, it does help keep conversation about the show. Conversation stays around longer. Like, there's a sense of community in everybody watching the show once a week, every Friday at 8 p.m. Like, there's community in that. There's conversation in that. There's discourse in that. That way, everybody's always on the same page. Your friend watches the whole season in one day, but, you have to work like a normal person. So you watch it, one episode a night for a week. You guys, you can't talk about it together. If everybody's on the same page, there's conversation to be had there. So I can see the benefit of both ways. But I would prefer just being able to watch at my pace. Like, Midnight Mass is a Netflix show that I love a lot. And I watched like most of it at once. I watched most of Squid Game all at once. But when because I watched Euphoria as the episodes came out, with a group of people, and there was kind of like that sort of like, yeah, I mean, like we all got together once a week at somebody's house and like made a night out of it.
Yeah.
So that's fun. It's fun to do that, especially for a show like Euphoria, where it's kind of fucking silly to begin with. Like you can talk over it. You can, do whatever. Me personally, I just like having the choice. It's not that I want to watch 10 hours of TV in one day, because I don't, but I could if I wanted to.
So for me personally, watching a series is like at the bottom of my list of things to do. I don't really like sitting and mindlessly just watching a show. So I definitely am not a binger. That being said, I do like on-demand TV where I can watch 2 episodes of a series a night and space it out between a few weeks or months. But I think with a weekly series, like let's consider The Last of Us. I remember when that was coming out.
Yeah, I mean,
that was exciting.
Super popular, super exciting, and because everyone was on that same page, watching it weekly, waiting with bated breath. That was fun, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of like a big community event with the internet. You go on the internet and you'd see what people were saying about the latest episode. We're so excited about the next one. We're all guessing what's going to happen, how they're going to adapt this section of the game. And it was much more of an event. And the popularity and social impact of that show kind of stuck around a lot longer. I do like the freedom of the current model, of the binge model. Like, if you don't want to sit down and binge the whole series, no one's making you.
Yeah, you don't have
You
to.
watch as little or as much as you want, when you want, and that's great. Okay, this has been Divisive Issues, Heated Debate Topics. I don't know what I'm going to call this yet.
Very controversial, very taboo, very controversial.
So, thanks for watching, and we will see you next Tuesday on our next episode of The Long Couch. Bye.
See ya. Bye.